mouse.
I really don't understand.
Canada, a nation that prides itself on its hockey, beer, and quirky cinematic gems. From Vancouver to Montreal, great films are made every year in this great nation. The only problem is, nobody sees them. Unless you go out of your way to educate yourself on the latest Canadian film coming to a street corner at a big city near you, you won't even hear about it. And why is that? Because we don't have proper distribution. And why don't we have proper distribution? Because we don't have the money. Well, we have the money. We just refuse to spend it. We're like that old crazy aunt who's filthy rich, yet every year at Christmas insists on buying you socks. So, rather than spending our own money on our own films promoting our own industry, we'd rather let the Americans come for a couple of months and spend theirs. This is great for our crews because God knows we're not giving them enough work. However, once these American films are made and distributed, they make all the money. Not only do they make all the money, but they take up all the room in our theaters, leaving us with only 1% of the domestic box office. But it's not their fault. Oh no, over in Quebec, they take up at least 20% of their box office. So where are we, the nation that is an actual nation and not a nation within a nation, going wrong? Quite simply, we're selling out. Instead of giving our homegrown talent a place to showcase their talent, we're giving them the boot to Hollywood. And why shouldn't they go? Hollywood has all the jobs, they have the money, they have the people who are actually going to go see their movies, and they have the actors. Well, sort of. They're Canadian too. But the funny part is, all these people who are going to Hollywood for work, they just end up back in Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver when it comes time to shoot because we're cheap. Hollywood is starting to look a lot like the NHL, where nearly half the players drafted were Canadian. And we only have 6 teams in the league. Take a look at the highest grossing movie of all time with nearly $2 billion of gross revenue. Titanic, directed by a Canadian. That could have been our movie. But James Cameron was smart. He knew there was no way in hell he'd ever get his hands on that kind of a movie here, despite the fact they're a lot closer to the icebergs. Instead, we're lucky enough to have Meatballs, one of the most financially successful films of Canada that was entirely shot and produced right here. However, most of its box office revenue was from the US. Despite the film being Canadian, there's nothing actually Canadian in the film. So, are Canadians ashamed of being Canadian, or are we just oblivious to what being Canadian means? But we have Bon Cop, Bad Cop. That was Canadian, and it was about Canadians. But that movie only grossed $1.3 million outside of Quebec. There are a few Canadian films this year making their mark in the industry, such as Away From Her and the US-Canada collaborated film Juno. But these moments are few and far between. Paul Donovan once described making movies in Canada as climbing Mount Everest without oxygen, because we'd rather cater to the Americans than look selfish and cater to ourselves. So now it's up to us, the new generation of filmmakers, to give the boot to the Americans and take back our theaters. And if it doesn't work out, we can always go back to Hollywood.
Here we are now, back at the Journal, and we are joined by none other than Start Tomorrow performing Rocket. Take it away, guys.
I sit and I lay, and the days fade away. The sound of the laughter and tears of joy are now in the past. It's dark in this place, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. I need you now, shine your light. And time goes by, it's a rush to my head. choice, and there's no looking back. My burdens and pains have been paid, now I can live. I need you now, shine your light, bring me into your grace. Accept me when I disgrace. Bring me into your grace. Accept me when I disgrace.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. So that was a pretty soft song. Where do you guys sort of like get your inspirations from?
I'm mostly just pop punk bands and punk rock bands, I guess. But we don't really try to limit ourselves when it comes to music. So
Okay. Where are you guys actually from? Where did you guys get your start? Are you all in high school or?
Some of us are in college. Some of us are just working right now. And we're all from Scarborough.
You're all from Scarborough?
Yeah.
Do you guys play like local shows, or are you guys just sort of like playing out of your garage?
we play mostly shows downtown Toronto.
Downtown Toronto?
Yeah.
What's the biggest show you guys have played so far?
Well, the biggest venue we played at was the Opera House.
There was no one there though.
There's
Yeah.
no one there?
The biggest show we played probably at the cathedral there.
Yeah.
100 people there.
Yeah.
100 people?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest.
Did you guys hear about the cathedral almost burning down yesterday?
We
Yeah.
were talking about it on the way here.
Were you guys sort of scared? Oh no, there goes our venue! Like,
Scared. It's kind of funny. Actually, we hate the cathedral.
yeah, everybody I heard just pretty much wants the cathedral to burn down, but
It's pretty disgusting.
yeah, but what can you do? But so yeah, thanks a lot for coming in, guys. I was really appreciated, and we're gonna get you to play another song, so that's all right.
All right.
And stay glued to your screens because we have Start Tomorrow giving us some more rocking tunes at the end of the show. What is that? Oh, it's just my bag. Looks a bit heavy. No, it's fine. Are you carrying a pile of rocks in there? No?
Yeah, I am.
All right, let's take a look at what else is inside those big bags of those. Here's Vlad with his investigative report.